profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
We're probably not due for what I call a true bear market, so a 20% plus type pullback. And that's because we're really starting to see the momentum build in this economy.
There's no momentum building in the economy. You can't have momentum building in the economy when there's no business investment. There's no business investment. So how can you have momentum building? All we have is stimulus. In fact, if you take a look at the market, I was telling my gang members this morning, let's get prepared where the market is now going to start to stall. After this when you remember when Biden, he became president, he finally got into the Oval Office, and boy, the market took off. Everybody's so excited. Oh, Biden's in office. This is it. We're going to have all kinds of good times. Everything's going to be great. We're going to give everything away, and the market going. We're going to have more stimulus. And the market went up since he's been in office only on stimulus. Just on the stimulus. This is going to have another $2 trillion in stimulus. The market goes up. Before that, the market went up because we had $5 trillion in stimulus. Stimulus doesn't stimulate anything for the economy. Stimulate the stock market. But the problem is, it only does it for a very short period of time. And then it starts coming back down. That's right. The stimulus does nothing for our economy's growth, does nothing for productivity, does nothing for wages, does nothing for better jobs, does nothing for getting rid of the part-time to full-time jobs, does nothing. It has one purpose, to drive the stock market. That's it. But it's temporary. It's just temporary. Why do you think, if you go all the way back to 2008, we have never had a recovery? Everything's been stimulated one way or the other. They started out with QE, not earnings, not profits. Remember the way the market used to be. The CEO would beat on his people, hey, we need new ideas. We need new products. And the products we have, we got to redesign and make them better. We got to make them less expensive, but better quality. I need better earnings, he would say, the CEO. He would tell his managers, this month, I got to have some better earnings. And how do you get better earnings? You get better earnings by turning around, building a better product for less money, but having more quality. And I'll compete. That's how it used to be. Then from earnings, that pushed up your stock price. But they came up with an idea. Hey, I got an idea. What if we can just push up the earnings fake? Let's make it fake. We'll artificially push up the earnings. Then the stock prices will follow. They won't be real, but they'll follow. And we as managers, CEOs, all our money, except for our base pay, most CEOs, their base pay is about $12 million. And then their big money is made on their stock options. So they came up with an idea. Yeah, wait a minute. What we're doing is too hard. We could drive we could drive earnings that drives the stock price. We could do that through financial engineering. We'll go in and we'll print this money, and we'll simply take all this money and we'll go out and buy treasuries. They'll drop the interest rates down on the 10-year treasuries, which will drive the short-term rates down. And we get the short-term rates down to zero, and then we'll borrow that money. The CEOs will borrow that money from the Federal Reserve through the banks. And what we'll do is take that money and we'll keep buying our own. Shares. We'll just keep driving our shares down. We'll keep shrinking the amount of shares we have outstanding. That'll push our earnings up, push our stock price up. We haven't got to worry about top-line sales. We ain't got to worry about increasing our sales. Hell, we can get rid of all our stuff, send everything overseas. That's what they did. They've been doing that since 2008. The stock market goes up. Then they came up with the idea of monetization of debt. Let's go to all the corporations doing poorly, and we'll say, hey, how bad you doing? Well, we're going to file for bankruptcy. Well, don't do that. We'll print money, and we'll buy all your garbage. We'll buy your treasuries, we'll buy your mortgage, we'll buy anything you have, we'll just buy it all, and then give you credit. This is the Federal Reserve. We'll give you like a credit card, and keep the printing machine going, and keep doing the same thing you've been doing. Then as that started to get boring, and the things really started to hit in February. Now remember, when we got in February 2020, we were ready to collapse anyways. Everybody talks about this pandemic is what caused the crash. No, it was the trigger for the crash. Because remember, from 2008 to 2020, the stock market's all fake. The stock market was going up over 400%, but we had no earnings, no profits, and no GDP growth. We didn't have the biggest thing we didn't have from 2008 to February 2020 is business investment. You got to have business investment for you to get a wage increase, for you to get a good job. You need business investment, but companies weren't putting money back into the business; they're putting money back into stock buybacks. So the market was ready to collapse anyways. This is what people don't know. They don't understand. It was collapsing anyways. Except the stars and the moon and the sun and Bambi jumping over the creek in Vermont, all lined up perfect for Wall Street. It could have been more perfect. They were so delighted when the COVID-19 hit. They were so delighted. Then the market started to crash. They could blame it on COVID-19. Then they turn around and say, we got it made. Let's just do stimulus now. Monetization of debt, QE, stock buybacks, we're getting tired. People are catching on to it. Now we can start doing stimulus. Let's print more money. $5 trillion. $5 trillion. Think about that. $5 trillion in 1 year. They weren't printing about $1 trillion a year. They did $5 trillion in 1 year. We'll put it all into the stock market. We'll put it into the stock market. Now we're going to take some of it, and we'll send some out for to help the businesses, and we'll send out for the COVID, and we'll send it here. But most of this money, let's put into the stock market. That's what they did, stimulus. The market kept going up. But see, they still had a problem with stimulus now. Think of a teeter-totter. Every time they do a stimulus, yes, the market goes up. But right now, I told my members this morning, watch how the market's going to stop. It's going to start consolidating for a while now. Earnings season is over. They can't use that lie anymore. Oh, I love the lies they use in earnings season. Boy, this was a terrific earnings season. Did you see that? 80% of our companies, their estimates, they had better than estimate earnings. Their estimates were God, they beat estimates, every one of them. Most of them beat them by a penny. Well, I'd like to know who got the penny. What do they do? I was a CEO of I had a business that was private. I brought it public. I know what they do. I know what earnings do. We used to feed the earnings, spoon feed the earnings to the guy that would take the banker, our investment banker, and tell him, look, our earnings are going to be 10%. We're going to have an increase of 10%. What we're going to tell you though is we're only going to have earnings of 1%. So then when the market opened and had the earnings, holy God, look at their earnings, 10%. Oh my God, they thought it was going to be 1%. And all the idiots would come in buying over the stock. It's unbelievable. What a game. I was so glad to get out of that. I'll be right back after this break.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the markets open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be. But you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay. Yesterday, I got to tell you, and I'm going to talk about this in the third segment because I want to talk about some stocks right now. But boy, I had a situation with my, they call it carpal tunnel, I guess, but I've never been in so much pain in my life. And you know what? I learned a good lesson yesterday about doctors and how they work and so forth. I got to share this with you. It's amazing. You know, everybody nowadays look at doctors, you know, they just make a lot of money and so forth, right? And but I got to tell you a little story, and I'm going to do that at the around the third, not the next segment. I want to do it. Amazing experience I had. Anyways, let's talk about the experience in the stock market. Look, they've been lying. These people have been lying. The fake business news media, they lie to you every day. That's their job, to lie to you. They got to make you feel good because they got to pay for their airtime. When you see someone on TV, if you look at the fake business news network, look at CNBC or look at Fox or Bloomberg, they got to pay for that airtime. That's not free. They just don't get on there. It's free. They have to pay for that time. Well, they don't take it out of their pocket. They have to get advertisers. But they got to get you to buy what's advertising. And they can't get you to buy a car unless you feel good. They can't get you to buy a house unless you feel good. So that's their job. That's one of the biggest things about stock market rallies. You always know when a stock market rally is going to go into a crash. When they start ramping up their enthusiasm. And you're hearing that more and more every day. Why? Well, because when the stock market is going up and it's all fake, since 2008, think of what they've been doing. QE, print money, get interest rates down to zero, they give it to the banks. They go buy their own stocks, so they move their stocks up, which they never could do unless they did that because they weren't having any earnings because CEOs weren't plowing money back into business investment. Now they're doing this stimulus for over a year now, pushing the market up. So now it's like almost like a teeter-totter. Every time the market goes up a little bit from stimulus, it starts coming back down. And they got to stop that to do another stimulus. In the meantime, it gets real critical. Each stock market crash, you can see it. It develops. There is no such thing as a surprise when the market's going to crash. Only dopes, okay, can't recognize when a market is going to crash well in advance. Now, the people on MSNBC and all these fake business news networks, CNBC rather, and all them, they know when it's going to crash. They're going to tell you. You think they could get away with that? Start telling you today, like I've been for the last, year, saying the crash is coming? I told you we're already in a crash in January 2019. But it takes time. Crashes take up 2-3 years. So every time right now with the stimulus, the market goes up a little bit, then it starts coming back down. Then the way they try to get back up is more stimulus. But you know what else they do? Enthusiasm. Here's this kind of crap.
It's just a wonderful world we're living in.
Remember all this?
Our economy is surging along. It's surging.
This is right before the crash, right before the pandemic crash. And don't say, oh, it was the pandemic, otherwise you keep going up. No. We were on our way down. That was just a trigger. Then now you start hearing today the same stuff. How everything's starting to look good again.
When you kind of look across the board, it makes perfect sense to keep money in the cyclicals, whether it's financials, energy, materials.
Oh, really? Yeah, see, there's the problem. You might as well keep the money in. It doesn't matter. Just keep your money in the financials, the oils. Doesn't matter. It's going to keep going up. See, 85% of you lose money because you don't know when to get out. Because that's their job. Their job is to make sure you don't get out. And then they're going to always say how the economy is going to be strong and good.
I feel like the economy is going to be very, very strong.
Very, very strong. The economy is going to be very, very strong. Really. Really. Off the back of, we have historic debt. We have historic national debt. Not just the $27 trillion. Remember, on top of that, we have another $100 trillion that's unfunded. So you have over 127 national debt. That's the highest ever. We have the highest budget deficits. We have the highest trade deficits. Trade deficits are job killers. We have highest household debt ever, highest corporate debt ever. What are you, nuts? What are you, nuts? Tell me that again.
When you kind of look across the board, it makes perfect sense to keep money in the cyclicals, whether it's financials, energy, materials, and industrials. We still have a ways to go here with this rally.
Oh, yeah, we got a ways to go here. What does he say this? We got a ways to go only if we do more stimulus. So you better get into power stocks, where the big institutions are. You better get into power stocks. Because this market is going to drop like a flying crowbar. If you take the dot-com crash that went down 37%, you take the housing crash that went down 57%, this market is going to go 75% or more. Why? Because we don't have the things to stop it, which is what? Interest rate cuts. Remember, we had 25 interest rate cuts, and when the dot-com crashed, so we could cut rates 25 times to slow it. We could cut rates 25 times in the housing crash because we could slow it with 25 rate cuts. We also have numerous hedge funds who are shorting on the way down. And when they short on the way down, they collect their profits. They don't wait till it goes all the way down. They keep collecting all the way down, which gives the stock crash a reprieve and starts moving back up. Those two things help stop the crash, which is, again, the first crash, dot-com crash, stopped around 37%. The second one, housing crash, 57%. This one's going to go down at 75, 85% because we don't have either. So their job is to make you happy. As the market keeps going up, and it gets tired and it's overbought. The stock market, remember this, a formula that we use all the time identifies for us that the stock market, the housing crash, and the dot-com crash, stocks were overpriced right before they crashed by 158%, 158%, something like that. You know where they are today? Over 200%. So we're more overbought today than we were with the dot-com and the housing con. And we got more signals today of crashes. But they're not going to tell you that. But that's what we're here for. That's why we're here. Because we'll let you know when to get out of this market. We'll be right back after this break.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
philsgang.com is not the only way you can stay in touch with what we do throughout the day. With today's social media, you can stay up to date with Phil's Gang current events. You can find Phil's Gang on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and more. Phil's Gang radio show is broadcast live Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, Periscope, and, of course, YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Go to philsgang.com and find our social media buttons at the top left-hand corner of the site. philsgang.com and Phil's Gang social media, keeping you connected.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month, philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grant at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember, go to my YouTube site tonight, my YouTube channel, where this will be my 6th installment of leading you up to the stock market crash. Every Friday, I review the week of the stock market and give you why we're getting closer to the crash. So you will not be surprised. Nobody should be surprised if you go to my YouTube channel, Phil's Gang YouTube channel, and I'm telling you, if you just watch that little video, it's only about 5 minutes, and I do this every Friday, you will not be surprised. Now, I can't tell you the exact date it's going to crash, but I'll be pretty close. It takes a long time for markets to crash. But I also want to take a little break here. You know, once you've been on this earth for 74 years. I've been doing this radio show for, oh my God, I've been trading stocks for 50 years. And, you just, things change. And the one thing you always miss, right, is you could go to your doctor years and years ago, right? Doctors used to, I know you don't believe this, doctors used to come to your house, for heaven's sakes, but service. Then doctors all became specialized. You go to I have a wonderful MD, but he can't do anything. I don't know why anybody goes to MD school anymore. Okay, you go to MD, but he's got to send you out for whatever you have. Toenail, earache, got to send you to a specialist. But I learned yesterday, though, I was in such pain when I came to work yesterday. And I come to work every morning at 4 o'clock, and the pain, I never had pain like this in my life. Never. Whatever I did, I opened up a door or something, and it just did something to my wrist. And the pain was shooting from my wrist. I couldn't even breathe. I mean, it would just take the breath out of me, the pain. I never felt anything. So we called, and we're trying to, and we got to my MD, and my MD came back and said, gee, we can't get you in for 13 days. I said, I'll be dead in 13 days. How am I going to work in the next 13 days? What, you're nuts? So my assistant, my producer, Autumn, I said, gee, we got to get me somewhere. And I said, this is who I go to all the time. So she calls Dr. Sforzo. He's here in Sarasota. He does sport medicine. He's an orthopedic surgeon. And that's where I couldn't get in for 13 more days. I got a call back. It was even an hour. Says, can you be here in a half hour? I was stunned. Because that never happens anymore. You all know that. You go to doctors, you go to dentists, right? It takes you months to get into somebody. As soon as she told her I was in excruciating pain, they moved her. Then when I get there, it's unbelievable. They're so organized. They're so nice. I mean, when you're in excruciating pain, you don't want to have some nasty person come up and start talking to you, right? Drive you nuts. These people are so pleasant. I mean, they're like your family. I mean, you got in there. I mean, it was so organized. First person, then you got to go to the second person. And you didn't mind it because they're so nice, so caring. And then Dr. Sforzo came in, great guy, young guy, and terrific. And so he said, well, we can either give you these pills that are, they're not an antibiotic, but they're a steroid pill, or I can give you a shot. And when I looked at that needle to me looked like 3 feet long, and I thought 3 nurses would have to hold the end up to get it in my hand. And I looked at it, and he said, you sure you want to do this? I said, yeah, I'll do it. And put the needle, and he did a great job. I mean, the machine he had, you could see right where he had to put the needle. It didn't take 2 seconds, got it done. But I got to tell you, when you talk about doctors, I got a whole different respect. We all know one thing. If you make $100,000 a year, you should be making $300,000 a year. If you're making $50,000 a year, you should be making $150,000, $125,000 a year. These doctors are underpaid. But when I said I was in such pain, never thought I'd get a call like that. And I did. And got me in, got me out, and I feel great today. And so I guess we still have those values. And Dr. Faso and his staff were just Dr. Sforzo, they were so good, and I was so appreciative. And boy, when you're in pain, I don't think anybody knows how, unless you've been in pain, you're really appreciative, especially when that pain's gone. So I just wanted to mention that because I really had a bad day yesterday, but boy, he really helped me out. So if you're ever around Sarasota and you're on vacation, you're in trouble, and you need sport medicine or you need an orthopedic surgeon, that's where I would go. Okay? All right, talking about pain, the stock market. Oh my God. We're going to get a lot of pain in the stock market. And they're not going to be able to give you a needle to get rid of that pain. You're going to lose more money you ever lost. But you can make more money than you ever made in the stock market. You've got such an opportunity because stock markets just don't crash. You can't get that across to people. It takes a long time. It's like turn the Queen Mary. Think about this, a crash. It's like trying to turn a Queen Mary with a canoe. It takes a long time. It's not like a speedboat. And we see the same signals all the time. I was around 1929, not that old, but you see the same signals, the same patterns. And that's what investing is about, is patterns, watching the money. Don't listen to this garbage. This is all garbage. And the stimulus is all garbage. Don't listen to this kind of stuff.
We're much more excited about where we're going. We very much see a surge in economic growth here in the U.S.
Oh, yeah, really excited. These are the same people who said the same thing right before the dot-com crash. They missed that one. They said the same thing before the housing crash. They missed that one. And they're saying the same thing now. And that's one of the signals. If you get a newsletter, 85% of these newsletters, stock newsletters, are all bullish. That tells you start taking your money out of the market, but then get ready to short the market. Shorting the market. They've made you stay away from shorting the market. Isn't that ridiculous? Wall Street has been ingenious. They've taken parking space in your head for over 100 years. Stay away from shorting. You're going to lose everything. You're going to get killed. No, they don't want you to short, because when you short, you're selling a stock. Wall Street lives by buying stocks, having you buy stocks. They're going to put all kinds of fear in you. You would never buy a car. Let me ask you, would you ever buy a car that had just forward, didn't have any reverse? Of course not. That'd be stupid. It's the same thing going in the stock market. It'd be stupid not having the skill to turn your position to a short. Like I always say to my members, how does it make any sense? If you're in a stock, you get a stock at $20. Now the stock's up to $60. And you go, oh, man, it looks like the stock's going to go down. I better get out of the stock. I better get out of the stock. And the consensus is, yeah, the stock's going down. We better get out of the stock. But then what do? Instead of short, if you know the stock's going down, then why don't you short it? Instead, they go look for another stock. They listen to this idiot, Kramer.
Jim, I bought XL Fleet up around 24, 25. I'm in it pretty deep, and now I'm underwater.
Well, I mean, electric vehicle, it's one of the better ones. You know, when the life cycle of these things are, once they go back down, it takes a while to catch fire. You have to wait for the quarter. But it's one of the better ones that they brought.
What stupid advice? What's he saying? It's so stupid. Are you kidding me? And when you look at this, if he was taking care of this guy, and if he was on had a chart, it turned red. It told you to get out of the stock. It said to get out of the stock long ago. And this poor guy's sitting in there because he's following the wrong thing. He thinks he can follow information from guys like this guy. He thinks because he's Kramer or somebody on some other show giving him advice that he's just following it. He's following it blindly. The chart tells you where the money is going. It was so clear the money was coming out of his stock. It was coming out. But he should have turned around and sold it short. And listen to the stupid reasons why Kramer's telling to stay in it. Join my gang tonight, free for 10 days. Free for 10 days. And you'll see a whole new world when you can short a stock and know how to get out of a stock when you should. See you on the charts. Have a great weekend. Oh, I got one more.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Short on time, but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Then go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. Do not forget to listen to the show on my YouTube channel live and its archive. Also remember, every Friday, including this Friday, this will be my 6th edition. It's free. I explain why I think we're getting closer to the crash, so that no one should be surprised. So this will be my 6th edition. They're about 5 minutes long. At most I ever go is 6 minutes. And they're really helpful, and it tells you exactly why we're getting closer and closer and closer. And this is going to be a very good one today that I post too. One of the biggest problems we're seeing right now, and why you got to be very careful, what nobody is telling you on these fake business news networks, is the volume is starting to decelerate, because it's like a teeter-totter. Okay, I don't know if anybody knows what a teeter-totter is, but you're in a playground. Anyways, every time let me just say this: stimulus is garbage. Stimulus is a fraud. Stimulus does nothing when it comes to our economy. It doesn't help you get bigger wages. It doesn't help you get a better job. It doesn't help you, okay, for your future, to send your kids to college. There's nothing stimulus does that's good. You say, well, what about the stimulus that you're giving people, a $600 check? Well, let me just say this. And I know you're going to be mad at me, but if someone needs a $600 check, that's not going to help them. They need a $1,400 check. You mean that's going to make a big difference in their life? No, it's not. What would make a big difference in their lives is give them a job. all the stimulus money, can you imagine, in 1 year, 2020, $5 trillion in stimulus. $2 trillion now, $7 trillion. Why don't we take our kids? Most of these kids should not be going to college to begin with. A lot of these kids, we should take this money and put it into trade schools. That's right. We should put it into trade schools. A lot of these, they're talking about getting, rid of the student loans. We should never be in that position. Never. Not every kid should go to college. And what this whole college deal is that the grants are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and Congress makes them bigger and bigger because then the congressman in his district, he wants to get it bigger and bigger, so he gets bigger and bigger donations. He gets donations from the people. They're so grateful that their kid could get into school with a loan that they give their local congressman a donation. It's all about donations. So the Congress should always get together and they say, well, let's move it up. Let's move the grant bigger and bigger. Ridiculous. You're sending kids to debt, not to school. A liberal arts degree. What do you do with a liberal arts degree? I got a good friend of mine does air conditioning, commercial buildings. He makes more money than anybody's holding a liberal arts degree, I'll tell you that. He makes more money. I'm not lying. He makes more money than most attorneys in Sarasota. Most attorneys in Sarasota doing air conditioning. That's where the kids should go. I mean, this is crazy. And the stimulus, you got to understand where this market's from. The problem we have in the stock market right now is so high, so fake. There's nothing underneath it. Nothing's holding it up. If you can envision a stock market going up, and what's holding that market up? Monetization of debt, stock buybacks, QE, stimulus. Man, are you kidding me? If we pulled those supports out, this market would collapse 60, 70, 80% today. But at some point, those don't help anymore. And that's the point where we are. And how do you know we're at that point? Because the peak on your chart gets narrower, gets more sharp. Just think of it as like a peak of a mountain. Every stock market crash on a chart looks the same. This looks even worse than the dot-com crash pattern and then the housing crash pattern. This one looks worse. We're getting closer. Stimulus doesn't help. It doesn't. All it does is, again, it puts a Band-Aid on. That's all. Okay. And really, the person doesn't understand. Even if you get a $600 check, it's not going to change his life. He knows that. $1,400 check is not going to save his life. What would save his life if they put that money, if the government took that money and put it into giving small businesses, startup businesses, a grant. Give small businesses a grant to start up. That's where all our jobs should be. And all our jobs do come from small business, not big businesses, small businesses. This is where the money should have started going years ago. We wouldn't be in this position. We shouldn't be in this position. All we got out of all this was income inequality. You got the rich getting much richer off the stock market. That's what's going on here. I mean, think about it. All this financial engineering contributed to a big problem. You take 10% of the population. Let's look at their income. If you take household net worth of 10% of the population, it increased 225%. Now let's take Main Street, see what they did. Their net worth went down negative 42%. But they dropped interest rates to zero to boost the stock market up. But with interest rates down to zero, people could go buy cars. They could live like their net worth didn't go down 42%. So they're living as if their net worth wasn't going down 42%. But what was happening is their debt is higher and higher and higher. And now 72% of the people are working paycheck to paycheck. All caused by QE, stock buybacks, trade deficits, all artificial to rally the market 475%. Thanks to our owners. That's the 1/100th of 1%. Those are our owners. Until we can get 80% population contributing to our economic GDP growth instead of 20%, we're in deep trouble. You're not going to have economic growth she said 7%. Maria Barone said 7%. Is she out of her mind? And you remember Larry Kudlow? He kept saying, well, it's going to be 3%. Because he started out, well, it's going to be 5 to 7%. Then it was 4%. Then, I hope it's 3%. You can't grow an economy when you got huge debt. You can't have historic national debt, historic budget debts, historic trade deficits, historic household debt, historic corporate debt, and say you're going to grow the economy. Are you nuts? I'll tell you what. If you don't get it, I'll get the anchor. I'll get the anchor from the Queen Mary, and why don't you go swimming, and I'll put the anchor on your neck. See how far you go. It's the same thing. And remember Larry Kudlow came out? He said, what a fantastic economy we have. Remember when every day they kept saying, well, they're going to sign the trade agreement any minute with China. Market go up 200 points. Next day, they're going to do it now. Market go up 200 points again. Every time they say we're going to sign the trade agreement with China, market go up 200%. That's all a game. He came out and said, wow, what an economy, as the market was going. Fastest economic GDP growth in history. That was a lie. That was in the 40s, 60s, and 90s. Not 2020, not 2021, not 2019. He says best wages ever. Not true. 1973 was. He said we had the strongest economy ever. Are you kidding? The 20s, the 40s, and the 90s is when we had strong GDPs. Best job growth, he said. Bunch of nonsense. It was the worst job growth we had. It was the worst job growth. Corporate earnings said we're the best. No, they weren't. They're the worst. All lies. Then we had income inequality. We've never had income inequality this bad. The inequality of income has not been this high since the Great Depression. Income inequality and economic growth, okay, they move together. Income inequality kills productivity, especially when CEOs decide not to put money in new machinery, new equipment to increase productivity, to increase wages, to increase the economic growth. No, income inequality is a job killer. It diminishes also the people on the street, their chances for a good education. Politicians don't get it. They don't get it. They keep on pushing college. And more big grants, bigger grants. So the colleges can make more money. Oh, by the way, they get big payoffs from the colleges too. But as I said, we should be pushing these kids to trade school, not to college. If we started to do this 15 years ago, we wouldn't be where we are today. It's unbelievable. Let's talk about stock ownership. Since 2009 to 2021, under Obama, under Trump, and now Biden, the market has rallied at a historic 475%. That's insane. And almost every day now, new high. Yet, Main Street household wages adjusted for inflation is the same now as it was in the 1970s. Main Street household net worth fell 42%. How can the market be going up 475% when the household networks on Main Street are dropped 42%? 72% of the 160 million workforce we have are working paycheck to paycheck. Yet CEOs are making what? 21 million a year? That's without the stock bonuses. They're making about they're just their regular salaries 338 times bigger than the guys that work for them. And we have historic debt like we never had before. The net worth of our economy, the United States. We have a net worth, the United States net worth is negative? Negative. Our debt is bigger than our economy. Join my gang tonight, free for 10 days. Free. And you'll see it works. You'll know when to get out. See you on the charts. Have a great weekend.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.